So today what we have with us is a brand that we haven't covered yet. And as soon as we got an opportunity from Maruti Suzuki Chowgule, we jumped at it. Because what we have with us today is one of India's most selling car. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the 2021 Maruti Suzuki Swift. Front of the car, as you can see, you have a nice sporty design to it. This car is finished in fiery red. It looks really striking. Now what has changed in the 2021 Swift is this new grille in front. You have a new redesigned grille in the front that has a chrome strip in the center that divides it. You have this beautifully designed headlamps over here that are LEDs and also have a TRL strip around it. Now there is a couple of accessories that are installed on this car, like you have this piano black finish around the grille. You also have body colored housing around the fog lamps as well to make it look a little bit more sportier and striking. Then let's move on to the sides. You have this dual tone alloy wheels over here that really look nice. You have a 5-spoke split that is wrapped in 185 rubber. Now the alloy size is 15-inch, so that really looks nice and accompanies the car perfectly. Now this being the ZXi Plus variant, you have a dual tone option, so your roof is finished in black on this car, so red with black, whereas if the car is blue, you'll have a white roof on the top. Now your mirrors as well are colored with the body color of the roof. That really looks nice. Side profile as well looks nice. Now you must be wondering that this car has is only a 2-door, but there is a handle over here. Now this is really nice. It's something different. We'll talk about that later. Now let's move on to the rear half of the car. So as you can see, the rear end as well looks nice. You have this beautifully designed LED tail lamps over here that really look nice and wrap around the car perfectly. You have your sensors as well at the bottom. Now they have T-Batch D variant. So now if you buy a ZXi, VXi or an LXi, you don't have the batches over here. That is a really nice thing. So this is the ZXi Plus. So this is the top end variant that you have with this. You only have a Suzuki badge over there and Swift written over here. Now there are accessories that are at the back as well. You have this piano black around the tail lamps and the chrome strip as well over here. Now let's hop onto the interior and check what we have there. Now sitting inside the car, the first thing that I can see is that I have all black interior theme that looks really nice and sporty. I have this nice steering wheel in front of me that is flat bottom over here, that has loads of controls. One to control the cluster, other one to control the infotainment system right here. Let's just switch that on and reduce the volume. We'll just mute it. So let's switch it on. So you have this new Smart Play Studio in this car, which is a new update in this car. Now we'll do an in-depth review on this, so stay tuned for that. We'll do an in-depth review on the Smart Play Studio. So you have loads of stuff basically in this. You have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You also have a reverse camera. So when you put it in reverse, like now, you'll have a reverse camera as well over here. That is really good, helpful while parking. Really great. Then you have this instrument cluster in front of me that is really nice, really sporty as well. You have like red surrounds around the dials. And what is new is this new MID screen. Now this is something that is new and have loads of information on that. You can control loads of things like your mileage, your distance to empty. You also have some warnings that come up on the screen. It's very informative and intuitive. So what we'll do is we'll make another video on that as well. Stay tuned for that one as well. Then what else you see are, you see a lot of accessories as well added out on this car. So you see this red Alcantara like material over here on the dash. That is an additional accessory, something on the A pillar as well as the B pillar as well, that is added, which really looks nice and accompanies the body paint of the car perfectly. Now you also have this you know, this checkered like carbon fiber like trim on the top. So you have it over here, you have it on the door handles as well, that add to that more sportier and more, you know, customizable options that are there on the car. Now coming to the center over here, you have this AC controls that really look nice. You have like a digital screen in the center that is really nice. So you have this temperature that is displayed in the center that you can control from here. So it's a Clamptronic AC, which is really great and throws good amount of airflow as well. That is really great. Now at the bottom you have a 12-volt charging slot and a USB and an aux port over here, which is good, so you can charge your phone as well. Now this car doesn't come with wireless charging, but you have a slot to keep the phone, and you can opt for wireless charging as an option. So you don't have to pay an extra additional amount and get wireless charging, but even big phones will fit right there. You have 2 cup holders over there in the front that are really nice. You can house your 1-liter bottles as well with ease. Now in terms of sitting in the car, it's really nice, comfortable. I have decent amount of bolstering. I have a good visibility as well outside the car. I have huge windows all around the place. And now what else has been added to this car? So you also have something called as engine start stop, and you have a button right here on this side that I can switch it on or off. So what engine start stop does is basically it shuts down when you're at a traffic light, so you can save fuel and then it comes back on. And it also shows you on the MID how much fuel have you saved when the engine has shut down and comes on. So that's pretty cool, and it lets you know how much fuel you're saving. Considering how high the fuel prices are going up, that's a really nice thing. You have a glove box over here, pretty decent. You keep your stuff in that as well. You have some space over here in the center as well to store things. Now this is the AMT version of the Swift. So you have an AMT transmission over here. So we'll let you know how that feels on a drive. So stay tuned for that one as well. Apart from that, the cabin feels nice. You have like a nice airy cabin. It's not too claustrophobic, it's not too compact. So this is pretty much how it is in the front. So now let's hop onto the rear. So now as soon as I sit at the back, the first thing that I notice is I have good amount of headroom, ample amount of knee room over here. Under-tire support may be a little less, but nothing much to complain about. It's a pretty decent place to sit at the back. I have an adjustable headrest as well over here, so I can sit on long drives as well. Good amount of visibility. I have a nice handle as well over here. Door pads are nice and huge. I can house my half-liter bottles over here without a problem. I have a nice door handle as well over here, finished in chrome. Front visibility is also great. I can see the driver's windshield very clearly, not an issue. Recline is perfect, nothing to complain about. So the rear seat of the Swift as well is a nice place to be in. Now let's check out the boot space. Now let's open the boot. So you open it like this. You have a decent sized boot space as well over here that has, it's pretty deep, so you can house your bags inside, and it goes a little low, but the loading lip is a bit high. But other than that, it's a nice big boot over here. You can store a couple of bags and move on those weekend trip out. You also have a parcel shelf over here. Now without any further ado, let's get straight into driving this thing. So getting behind the wheel of the Swift, the first thing that I can tell you is I have great amount of visibility all around the car. I have no blind spots at all. That's a really nice thing. The steering wheel that I'm holding feels nice to hold. It is leather wrap and it is flat bottom. I also have loads of controls, as I said before, that I can control practically almost everything. So I don't need to literally take my hands off the steering wheel. I can control the infotainment system as well as the cluster in front of me. Now what I'm driving is the Swift AMT. So this is the AMT version that is there. So talking about the transmission, yes, this is an AMT. So there is you do feel the shifts that are happening, but that's pretty much with almost every AMT. But on normal driving you wouldn't feel a lot of that, so that's great. In terms of the steering feel feedback, it is surprisingly pretty good. It really surprisingly is good. You do have good amount of feel and feedback on the steering wheel as well. That's a really great thing. In terms of suspension, this is set up slightly on the stiffer side, but the advantage to that is that high speed you have a lot more confidence, and this is really great that Maruti has done this on the Swift. Now under the hood is a new 1.2 liter engine. Now this one makes around 90 horsepower and somewhere around 135 Newton meters of torque, if I'm not mistaken, which is really great. It is good amount of power. Now this isn't a sports car, so you wouldn't want to do a 0 to 100 or take this on a drag strip, but what it is meant to do, what it is built to do, it does that perfectly, and that's really great. And now we are on a highway and we are around a couple of twisties, and the car is pretty planted. There is a tad bit of body roll, but that's only on higher speeds, but that's with probably every other car on the road, so that's nothing much to complain about. Now as you can hear the beeping, that's because it has a 80 km/h speed warning, so that's that. But apart from that, it's a really nice car to drive. And braking, talking about braking, it is pretty good as well. It's not that bad. It has a good feel to it. The bite is good. Could have been a little better, but nothing much to complain about, because as I said, you are not going to take this car on the track. This is a everyday car that you take to office, college, work, stuff like that, so that suits its purpose perfectly. We're taking a couple of bends, and yes, as I said, body roll isn't a lot, so that's a really good thing. Yes, the gearbox does sometimes in between get a bit confused, but yeah, but that's because it's an AMT. It's basically a manual which has an actuator on that make it an automatic, but that's how it is. Not bad. So this has something called as a kick down function that was explained to us by the guys at the dealership, and what it basically does is when you're overtaking, you just need to tap the throttle quickly and it downshifts and overtakes. So that's also a nice thing. It works pretty well, but yes, you do feel the shift that happens after that. Yeah, so that's pretty much how the gearbox responds. That's pretty much how the Swift feels to drive. The NVH levels are good as well. You don't find a lot of cabin noise coming, engine noise coming inside, but on higher RPM, yes, you do hear that, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's a sporty feel. Talking about the Smart Play Studio that is here, it has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and stuff like that, so you can connect your phone as well and you can access those stuff. It's a nice, very colorful display, and this is the same one that is seen on the Brezza, the Baleno and stuff, so it's really smart. We will do an in-depth tutorial review on this, so stay tuned for that one. So yeah, so I think this is pretty much how the all-new Swift feels to drive. Very nice, very comfortable, and suits its purpose to what it is made for. So right now we are at a signal, and as you can see, notice that the car is switched off. So now this car has a auto start stop, so what it will do, it will turn off at the signal light and then turn back on, so it saves you fuel, and it also shows you how much fuel you have saved in the MID in front of you. That's really great. And now this thing stops for a maximum of 3 minutes, so that's 180 seconds. So after that it turns on. So right now it turned on and we can drive away. So it's really good. You save fuel as well. So the start stop system can also be turned off. So there's a button right here. You can turn it off or on if you want it or don't want it. So that's another good thing. So if you think that the car keeps going off and as soon as you stop and you find it annoying, you can switch that off as well. But trust me, it's a good thing if you want to save fuel. As I said, considering that fuel prices have almost reached 100, and as I said, you have loads of steering controls as well. What you also have now is cruise control. That is really nice. So you just need to click the cruise control button. be at a speed above 40 and click on set, and yes, you're on cruise control. Now this is a really good feature when you're traveling long distance and on the highway. It makes a lot of sense. So that's the new addition as well to this Swift. So now if you're out in the market looking for a hatchback that's reliable, you have ease of accessing parts and servicing and stuff like that, and if you want a car that has the maximum amount of fuel efficiency, that is 23 kilometers per liter, then look no further than the Maruti Suzuki Swift 2021. And if you're based in Goa and want to pick up this car, do head down to Chowgule Maruti Suzuki, and the guys over there will help you out with the best deal on this car. So with that, guys, I wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, found it informative. If you have any more questions, do let us know in the comment section down below. Also, do not forget to subscribe, guys. A lot of you all haven't subscribed, so do subscribe. With that, guys, I see you next video.